What's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. Today, doing the What's Next on Eduardo Ramirez, the former world title challenger who just fought on the Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz undercard on Showtime pay-per-view on Sunday, December 5th. They went at it, and what was a very, he went at it with Miguel Marriaga, another former world title challenger, and they went at it. They went at it in a good action-packed fight where Ramirez continues to look very solid and has put himself in position to possibly fight for a world title at some point in 2022. So right now, I got Ramirez ranked, and this could change, but I have him ranked number 10, tied with Joet Gonzalez at number 10 right now at featherweight. So let's run through the top 10 and see what could possibly be next for Ramirez following another solid-ass victory on a big card. We start with number 1, the WBO champion, Emmanuel Navarrete. I don't see it happening. Navarrete, even though he's a promotional free agent now, he has other options, like a unification with Kiko Martinez. He has other options that he can take. He doesn't have to. I think taking on a guy like Eduardo Ramirez is almost kind of a step back right now because Navarrete is seriously sitting pretty at the top of the division right now. He really is. Number 2, Gary Russell Jr. This fight is not, I don't think it's going to happen next, but it definitely could happen at some point in 2022. I think that's the goal, to get in line for Gary Russell. Now, who knows if fucking Gary Russell, after his title defense against Mark Magsayo in January, if he's going to fight again in 2022, maybe towards the end of the year, but Ramirez is trying to get in line for it. So I don't see the fight happening next, but if Ramirez beats, somebody and gets in serious contention, becomes a number 1 contender, he could face a guy like Gary Russell later on in the year. So we'll see. Number 3 is Mauricio Lara, the top contender right now. He's coming off of back-to-back fights with Josh Warrington. He had the knockout of Warrington, and then he had a no contest with Warrington. Right now, I think his mind is kind of focused on other things. Lara, I think he's trying to get himself in line for one of the other titles. But I wouldn't be surprised if him and a guy like Ramirez locked it up. But I think Lara has ties with the Zone now, and Ramirez is with the PBC, so I'm going to say no to that one. Number 4 is Kiko Martinez, the newly crowned IBF featherweight champion. Martinez is a guy who's with the Zone, and Ramirez is trying to get himself in line for a WBC title shot, so I don't see this fight being possible. Number 5 is number 5 after him is Josh Warrington, the former IBF champion. I'm not seeing this one. I'd like to see it, but I don't think these two guys are locking horns. I think Warrington now might be in line to fight for the IBF title again, now that Kiko Martinez is champion. And if not, he's going to try to move himself into position to possibly fight for that belt again. So I'm not seeing it. Number 6 is Kid Galahad. I think, Galahad's with the Zone. Ramirez is with the PBC. So I think it's highly unlikely. I could see, Ramirez and, I could see Galahad moving up to 130. And again, just because it's Matchroom and the PBC, I don't think there's any chance these two guys lock horns. Now, number 7, Ray Vargas. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I believe Ray Vargas and Eduardo Ramirez are going to fight next, because they're the top 2 guys in the WBC right now, and Gary Russell has already made it clear that he's fighting, what's his name, Mark Magsayo, in a mandatory title defense in January. And we know Gary Russell takes fucking forever in between fights. So I think that you're going to see Vargas and Ramirez, because they're both PBC guys, going at it in the first half of 2022, with the winner to either fight for the vacant title or be upgraded for interim champion. Those two guys could fight to determine an interim champion. and the winner gets Gary Russell, the winner of Gary Russell and Mark Magsayo in the second half of the year. You know, especially with how much time in between Gary Russell takes, it might be perfect for them to fight in April or May, Vargas and Ramirez, because Vargas just fought on the Canelo undercard in November. So I really believe that we're going to see Ramirez fight Ray Vargas next. It makes sense. They're both of the same promotion. I really believe that's going to be the next fight for Eduardo Ramirez. Number 8 is, well, Vargas is number 7. Number 8 is, Jesus. I hate when I draw blanks like this, guys. Oh, Lee Wood, the WBA, the newly crowned WBA champion. He's fighting Michael Conlon next. He's with the Zone anyways, and Matchroom, so I don't see it. Number 9 is Shukan of China. He's with Golden Boy, former champ. No sense in this one. And then the other guy, Joet Gonzalez, has ties with Top Rank. He's coming off a loss anyways to Joet Gonzalez. So, I mean, to Emmanuel Navarrete. So, really wouldn't make sense. So, Eduardo Ramirez, realistically, there's not a lot of big options for him outside of PBC guys. And there is a big name PBC guy in Ray Vargas. That would be, if he could go out there and beat Ray Vargas, that would not only get him a title shot for sure, but it would be the biggest win of his career. And I really believe that's going to be the next fight for Eduardo Ramirez. I think he's going to fight Ray Vargas to determine the #1 contender or an interim champion for the WBC, and the winner lines himself up for the winner of Gary Russell and Mark Magsayo. So we'll see what happens, but that's the what's next on featherweight contender Eduardo Ramirez, following a very solid 10-round unanimous decision over Miguel Marriaga. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.